All right, guys. See if we're live. How's everyone doing? Give me 1 second. I have a live stream here in a second. I was live streaming from my phone, trying to get to the comments. Y'all say hey as you pop in. Oop, I lost it. Just going to be on here a couple minutes. I want to show y'all some microgreens that we got growing because we're going to harvest them tomorrow, so they may be gone. And give me 1 second here. Trying to get a link. All right, yeah, all of these were grown. I've got a bunch right here. We've got more in the garden, but I've got a bunch we grew in these little cereal bowls. Yeah, let's see. Copy. Okay, there. I've got it. Now I can see the comments. Loud and clear in Pennsylvania. Thank you, Diane. Lindiana, how are you doing? Who else we got? Paul Bond. Crazy Homemaker, how are you doing? I see you've got some stuff going on. I saw a couple of your videos pop up in my feed. But I'm just going to be on here a couple minutes because we're going to harvest this in the morning. So I want to show y'all. You know, I've been over on Whatnot, so I haven't been on here. I tried to give y'all a behind the scenes look, but I want to show you right here. We've got mustard flavored or wasabi flavored mustard greens. See all of those? Yes, what's up? How are you doing? Pretty much this is just done. These little cereal bowls, and we just use a little adapter like that. And this one I think is a refillable one where we can pull these out. It's actually one of these. So we plant these out, cover them up. You guys have seen my videos where we do that, right? This one's with gravel. Cover it up, let them germinate. They take about 3 or 4 days to germinate, depending on the plant. Something like cilantro takes a lot longer, right? Radish like sprouts up in no time. So 3 or 4 days, you uncover them, and then you just let it go. You can kind of see the water right there, right? So it still has some water in there. So this is ready to harvest. So we haven't done anything to this. We haven't done anything to any of these. I'm going to show you about 4 of them that I have right here. But this one right here is mustard green. It's got a little peppery flavor and it's wasabi flavor. So it's not like wasabi, the root, but it does have a little peppery kick. This is radish. And these were all planted at the same time. You see how big that radish is? This is only about 4 or 5 days old. So that's ready to harvest, and this is actually empty. So it's used all of that, and I can see down in the bottom where you can actually look down inside of these in there, and I can see there's still about ½ inch of water in the bottom. So that'll be all right till morning, so I can just leave that. If you wanted to just harvest part of this and then go ahead and let the rest grow a couple more days so you don't have to like put them in the refrigerator, it's best just to come out and just pick these fresh. Then you can put a little bit more water in here. You don't need a whole thing. You don't need nutrients. When it gets to this point and you're going to harvest it in a day or two, I just put a little bit of water in here and you just tip it in there real fast. Or you can just pour water right down in the middle. So you can see, set it and forget it. It got to this point. We haven't refilled this yet. So we plant them out, cover it, let them germinate, take it off, boom, you're right there. So we haven't done anything to these. Do you add nutrients to the microgreens? I do in the very beginning. So when I plant them out, I like to use nutrients. I'll show you, this one's our red garnet amaranth, right? And people are saying, you know, how much water do they use and everything? You can see these were planted at the same time. So this one you can see hasn't even used half a bottle yet, right? But there's a bunch of amaranth on there. These grow a little bit slower, and these are going to pop up in about 3 or 4 days. Those leaves are all going to open up. They'll be kind of greenish red. It'll look beautiful on that. These you can actually take and plant out into bigger plants. If you guys have seen some of my older videos where I had big amaranth plants, those came right from here. So all you got to do is come in here And amaranth, I pull out like a little bunch of them like that, 4 or 5, right? And just plant it. It's just that easy. And it doesn't take very much. So this, you can have a whole wall. If you have like one of those vertical ones, you can have a whole thing full of these. Now those were all grown with gravel, which I like. This one right here was grown with the clay pebbles or leca, and that's tatsoi. And they're all planted at the same time. These guys are less than a week old. This is ready to harvest, and like I said, we haven't done anything to it. We planted them out. Like I said, if you've got, you just get your bowl, put this adapter in there, fill it up with clay pebbles or gravel. I just use the pea gravel. If you guys seen the videos, you know, just a little pea gravel like you get up at Home Depot or Lowe's. You fill this up, put it in there, cover it up. I use foil. Some people don't like foil because of health reasons. So you can cover it up with plastic. You can, I have mine, I don't leave them out in the sun. So you guys will see a lot of my stuff outdoors. I have a shade house. So I keep mine inside the shade house. It gets enough sun in there. What type of gravel? Yeah, just pea gravel. Let me leave a link over here really quick. This is where I've been on Whatnot. And those adapters, I don't have them, the buy one, get one free sale. I took that off a little while ago, and some people were asking about it. I could put it back on. Can you do chives like that? Yeah, you can. It's a little tougher because chives take a little bit longer to germinate. So you're just going to have to play with that a little bit. I like just getting chives and have them already started, start them in soil, rinse them off a little, and put them into a hydroponic container like we do the cracky stuff, and they grow really good like that. I actually have a bunch of garlic chives going outside right now. But yeah, these guys, you know, this tatsoi, you can see there's hundreds of plants right there, right? So you can come in here and just pull them out just like that. See how easy it is? See how you get the roots? Just like that. And plant those out. So instead of just getting a couple of grams of microgreens and using all these seeds, you can get your microgreens and you can go ahead and plant some of those out. Grow some bigger plants. That way you get a lot more bang for your buck. So I just want to show you all that. This we're not going to harvest. We're going to let this go another 4 or 5 days. So the next video, you'll probably see this growing a little bit bigger. But all of these other ones, you know, like this radish, that thing's ready to go. So if you guys are new to microgreens and you haven't started, go ahead and try something like that, like radish. 4 or 5 days to grow like this. You can plant it out, and about 3 days later, you can plant another one and then plant another one. It only takes a couple of minutes to set it up, and you'll always have like fresh radish sprouts whenever you want. Just like that. Now, Whatnot, what we've been doing is ooh, that one's spicy. We have our adapters, all the different ones, and I just left my link to Whatnot, and I put my adapters over there. If you're new to Whatnot, you haven't been on there before, you get a $15 credit for signing up, creating an account over there. And inside my store, not where we have the auctions, if you just click on my store, I put a pair of these and a pair of these. This is the wide mouth, this is the regular mouth, and they also fit the Coke bottle. I put a pair of those in there for $15. So you get a $15 credit. So basically you can pick these up, 2 of these for free on Whatnot, just for setting an account up. And all you got to do is pay sales tax, depends on, you know, what state you live in, and shipping, which I'm in Florida. So most places it's going to be about $5 for shipping. And you can go ahead and pick you up a set of that. If not, I have it over in Etsy. You know, Whatnot, what we've been doing is like an auction. We'll throw a bunch of those into a container. I've been giving people some of the hydrogen to get started and some of the nutrients. With master blend, that's enough. That's half a pound. That's enough to make 100 gallons of master blend. So I've been doing that, and we've been putting a bunch of the adapters in a box and then throwing little samples of seed packets. And what I've done was pre-portion these just the way that I've done it. Like this is the wasabi mustard. No, that's arugula, and which is basically the same one as this. And I pre-portioned it out so you don't have to guess. It fits a container just like that. If you're using a square one, like these peas, this is a 5x5, and that's what I call this, is a 5-inch bowl. So we pre-portioned all of these, which I like growing in a smaller container like this because these are spicy. You know, you're not going to sit there and eat 100 grams of radish sprouts, right? I mean, you might, but to me, what we do is we cut some of these, throw those on a salad. It's just like if you have a salad, you're gonna have a lot of lettuce, tomatoes, onions, you know, all this other stuff, and you don't go and put 4 cups of radish on top of it, right? So you're not gonna eat that much. So unless you have a big family, you're not gonna use a lot of this at one time. So I like using this little container. There's no sense in growing a big 10 by 20 tray. You're gonna waste a lot of seed. Blue Wolf, how you doing? So that's why I like taking some like this, like the amaranth, because you can grow that, you can use some of it, but then you can take a lot of it and plant it out. And then if you keep your microgreens going, then when you go and you harvest your baby greens, when you have your bigger containers growing and you start harvesting some of that, then you always have microgreens to come back and pick a few of these and replace them. So like I said, I wasn't going to stay on very long. I'm just coming on to show you all this, let you know where we've been over on Whatnot. It's awesome. A little auction. Some people are picking up. We try to do some small boxes where people can pick up a couple of adapters. We do some big boxes where people are getting like $100 value, you know, for about half the price. And people are getting like, we were packing up boxes that had $200 worth of stuff in it, and we start the bidding at $5. So it's pretty cool. So if y'all go sign up over there, like I said, you get a $15 credit just for signing up. And if you go inside my shop, I've got a set of these for 15 bucks. So pretty much you can go over and just get you a set of these to start off with. And if you want some more of the seeds or the other stuff, or you want more of those, then hang out in my, go ahead and follow my show. I think definitely I'll be on the weekend. I'm trying to think if I'm going to be, some people want me to go on during the week. I have more seeds coming in. They just kind of, we wiped out the seeds. All we have is a bunch of tot soy. But here's all the stuff we've been doing, and the seeds are delayed. So when they come in, we've got to go ahead and pack some more up, and then we're going to have some more fun. We had like a giveaway like every 10 minutes. It was awesome. I'm loving my wide mouth adapters. Awesome. Thank you. Look, that's what we do over on what you call it. Love my boxes. Awesome. Lindiana Jones, thank you very much. What container should I use for parsley? Parsley, the parsley one's a little tougher. I forgot to mention that to people. I gave them parsley, and I switched it out for amaranth right now. Parsley takes longer to germinate, and parsley's like what's that? Cilantro, and basil like takes a little while to germinate. So you're not going to grow the parsley like this right away. Parsley, if you want, I would actually do that one as soil. If you can remember to go in there and water it, you know, a couple times a day. Parsley will take about 2 to 3 weeks to germinate. So if you're doing it like this and it's just you have, you know, water sitting there for 2 or 3 weeks, you might end up getting kind of funky by the time it actually sprouts. But I switch out the parsley. So everybody who was in my Whatnot shop or show for the last couple of weeks and you got some parsley, go ahead and email me. I'll pop up my email on here. And if you want to switch some of those out for something like I've got more tot soy, I can send you some more tot soy if you don't want to mess around with it, or if you want to give it a try, give it a try. I would love to try the wasabi mustard grains. Yeah, those are awesome. They're peppery, and they grow like pak choy. So you guys have seen all my pak choy, right? They grow like pak choy, but they're actually mustard greens, so they're spicy, whereas the pak choy just tastes kind of like your brassicas and that, right? It's pretty cool. let's see. Here's my email. So if y'all have any problem with the parsley, you can actually go sprinkle it out in your yard or put it in a container. And I've got some sprouted right now in one of these cereal bowls, but it does take longer. So you might like have this radish and then have the parsley, and the radish will pop up, and then the parsley will be there like 2 weeks later, and not doing anything. So that was my mistake. That I do this all the time, but some people, if they're new, they want the things where you plant it and instantly, things sprout and then it comes along. So parsley probably wasn't one of the better ones that I gave you, but those do work. And once you do grow it, you can grow them into bigger plants, and we use them to juice and everything all the time. So parsley is a wonderful thing to have. But let me go ahead and that's my email. Y'all can just email me there. Or if you have any questions about it, do that too. And I got my Whatnot link. I dropped it over there in the comments. Y'all go check that out. You sign up for it, you get a $15 credit. You don't have to use it on my shop. You can go into anybody's shop or click up at the top where it says browse, and anything you're looking for, like we do steampunk stuff, right? We used to have steampunk. You can just punch in steampunk, or shoes, or Nike. You can get really specific, and things will pop up. You can go into people's each one of their shops, and they'll have a buy it now section, and then you can use that $15. So you don't even have to use it on mine. But if you want to get a set of these, I have a set of them for 15 bucks, like I said. So you get a $15 credit. What you do is you click on it, you put in your cart, and when you go to checkout, it should take that $15 off. So if you don't see it, taking it off, then don't click checkout. Something's not right, or you've been on Whatnot before. But if you go on over there and click, add it to your cart, and then when you go to checkout, when you see it, it's calculating like your sales tax and shipping. It should have a credit down below, and it'll take the $15 out, and all you have is whatever tax your state has, and shipping, which is going to be priority mail. It'll be about $5. Let's see. Alrighty. Do you have any microgreens of the black seeded Simpson to show? No, I don't. Let me think. I think I've got some of those to pass out. I think I passed some of those out. Was that something that we passed out in the first week? And those we harvested those. I don't grow a whole lot of those because leaf lettuce we can go up to the grocery store and get like whenever we want. So we'll have a couple of them growing at one time. The things like the pak choy, the one that I like, we can't really get that in the store. We can't get, when we get amaranth, when that grows, we can't really get amaranth in that. So I like to grow the things that we can't really get. So like basil, we use a lot of basil, so I'll have that growing at any time. But I also like getting like cinnamon flavored basil, which is different. You can't pick that up. So I like to maximize my space with things that I can't just go out to the store and get. So like pea shoots and that, you can't just run out to the store anytime you want, right? You can't just go out to the store unless you're in one of the fresh marketplaces or something, or Whole Foods where they have like microgreens, and get something like that. So we like to have these going. And what you can do, like these are ready to go, right? What you can do is have some soaking. So we have some soaking. I have another big tray, like you saw the last video I had where I have them growing in the tray. We've already got some in the tray with roots growing, and the shoots about that tall. And then we've got some more soaking right now. So that's what you have your different stages. So we come in, we can harvest these. The other ones will be ready in a few days. And then we've got some soaking, and we clean out these trays, plant those out, and then alternate everything. It's just like working in a restaurant. If you guys have worked in the hospitality industry, then it's just like every day, everybody comes in, you cook, and that people do prep, and then you prep for the day, and then at the end of the day, you prep for the next day, right? It's basically the same thing, and that's how you keep your microgreens going all the time, which is like totally different from like growing a traditional garden. Is basically we get ready for spring or fall. We get out there, we till, we've been composting, we get everything set, we put our seeds down, and everything comes in at once, and then you're busy trying to can it or give it away or eat it all. And this is where you can just take your time keep things growing like this only takes 4 or 5 days for it to get to that. So you don't even have to worry about it. You could like just stop and everything could be gone. You could plan everything out, and with 4 or 5 days, you'd already have radish sprouts coming up. You'd have, tatsoi about that big, and these things would go about another 4 or 5 days. And in that time, you can plan out some more and just keep it going again and again. So some of my videos, you'll see like my shade house, and I'll have a bunch of microgreens growing, right? And that's just showing people what's possible. But pretty much, if there's like only 2 of you in the house, you wouldn't be growing that many at one time, right? You just want like a wide variety. Maybe you might have like one of these going, one of these, and then what you would do is just wait a couple of days and start another one. What medium do you use? Yeah, this one is gravel. All of these were pea gravel. Here, you can see I can pull one out right there. And then these, the tatsoi, I've got hydrogen, clay pebbles, leca. It's all the same thing. And I've also used sand, and I like the leca. That's what's in here, clay pebbles, because it's lighter. This is easier to use. So if weight is a concern, it's easier moving these around. If you get a big baking dish, like you've seen some of them that I had in a big baking dish, if you use gravel or sand, it gets pretty heavy, right? But if you use something small like this, it's not all that heavy. So gravel works with this. The gravel and the sand I like because it's easier to clean out. They're heavy. You fill up a bucket, you toss this in, and all the sand or the gravel falls to the bottom, and you swish it around, and all the roots and the rest of the organic matter floats to the top, and you dump it off. You'll see it in my videos. What's up, Serena? That's the Just Discovery channel. I'll have to check out these videos. Coolio, appreciate it. I have a playlist on all these with adapters and that. You sent some, Blue Wolf said, you sent some. I was wondering what they look like. They just sprouted. I can't wait for a few days. Yeah, they'll just look like little lettuce sprouts. And we've grown tons of it, but lettuce, I like taking those. You can take that, toss on salads and this and that. There's not much flavor to it, but those you can actually grow out into a full head and use it as a cut and come again. So that one's pretty cool to go and stick in a bigger hydroponic container and just keep it going. I saw Troy. What's up, Troy? Greetings. Is your shade house protected? Just shade cloth. I was thinking of trying to grow some microgreens outside. No, I put greenhouse plastic on it, and the one that I found, it's a green. What did I punch in? I think I pushed reinforced greenhouse plastic, and it's a greenhouse plastic, and it's got like fibers woven into it, a little grid pattern. And that was a lot tougher because we've got the stray cat that chases the lizards around in my backyard. And I was just putting up plain plastic because he'd jump on there chasing the lizards and tear it up. And I was spending more money on the expensive greenhouse plastic, and it'd still be fine, but he'd jump up there and friggin' shred it running around. So I got this one. It's reinforced and it seems to hold up a little bit better. But I've got a piece of shade cloth and I've got a piece of just that to keep the rain out. And you use water only. You can, if you want to get things like to this point and just harvest it to this point, you can. But like I said, I like to take a lot of mine and pull some of these out and put them in the bigger containers. You just pull them out like that. And you go on my channel and you see I'll have a bunch of videos where we've had a lot of the plants. If you take this and put it into one of the cracky containers, you won't have to touch that thing for a month. And this thing will grow and it'll become a baby green, which you can harvest it right then. But if you want it to grow to more mature, I've grown like dino kale and arugula, pak choi, all kinds of leafy greens like that. Then you're going to want to go ahead and refill it. And I just keep it between 1/2 and 3/4 full. Does your lettuce ever get brown on the edge? Yeah, once in a while. Some of them do, but we're going through and doing like the cut and come again, so it doesn't really sit up there all that long. Kelly Arts, how are you doing? The arts or artists. Can you describe how to mix the nutrients, please? I received the box with the packet. Yeah, basically, you're on YouTube, right? Click on my channel and scroll down to, I've got one playlist that's called Frequently Asked Questions. And I think the very first video in it is the one with the nutrients. And you probably got the lettuce formula, which is good for all the leafy greens. Watch that and then go on Amazon. You're going to need a little calcium nitrate and Epsom salt, which you can get at the Dollar Tree or drugstore. And you probably have some in your bathroom cabinet right now. But don't use any of them that's flavored or whatever, right? Like lavender or whatever. Get plain Epsom salt. And the basic formula is 12 grams of the master blend. It's for a 5-gallon bucket. That's what I do. 12 grams of the master blend, 12 grams of calcium nitrate, and 6 grams of Epsom salt. And that makes 5 gallons. So if you're doing the microgreens, that's going to go a long way. And if you don't use it all when you plant some out, keep it in a dark spot. Especially if you have like a white bucket, put it up in under a cupboard or something and keep it in a dark spot. Okay, thanks. I get overwhelmed sometimes. Thanks for that. No problem. And I had my email up here if you ever have a question and you're doing that. If you missed it while you're on the show, there's my email. I think I've got it up there too. Just email me there. Oh, look. So we're on Whatnot, and the seeds that we're giving away, it was like every 10 minutes. I missed 2. And we're giving away seeds. We had top soy, speckled pea, which is what you saw growing there, arugula, the mustard wasabi, red acre cabbage, fenugreek, China rose radish, which is this one here, and red garnet amaranth, which is there. So people are getting, like, every 10 minutes we're giving away a little sample pack of each one of those in a little box, and we're giving those away. That's pretty cool. We're having lots of fun. And then I give away like an adapter, a couple of adapters or whatever. We can do like this, and I think a tot soy. And every 10 minutes we're giving something away. Okay, you can do. Okay, can do this. Thanks. I get over. Yeah, no problem. Let's see. Lettuce, man, you always get me excited to grow food. Your energy is contagious. Cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, everybody grow their own food, right? All right, no more questions. I'm going to take off, guys. Like I said, I wasn't going to be in here very long. I just wanted to come in here and tell you guys where I've been and wanted to show you, like I said, you know, this one I'll probably harvest. By the time it gets to this point, you can kind of tie them up, or if you let them go, they're just going to start to fall over. They're not going to keep growing straight up. This is a radish sprout. This is about it. So we're going to harvest this, plant out some more. So I wanted to come on here and show you guys, you know, just how wonderful that looks. And this thing's only 4 or 5 days old. And we haven't even refilled it yet. So that's what you can do. Set it and forget it. Like I said, if you haven't been on Whatnot, I've left my set it up here one more time in the chat. You get a $15 credit for signing up. And if you go into my shop, I've got some of these adapters set up, 2 for $15. So you can pick up a pair of these basically for free. All you got to do is pay sales tax and shipping. And then you can stick around on Whatnot and see what we got going on. It's pretty cool. We got lots of fun. Lots of people there in the chat. We're over there on Whatnot. All right. We'll catch you all later. Get out there and grow something. Y'all let me know which one you like if you're going to grow. We like that one for color. It's got an earthy flavor. Our tot soy is like a favorite. If you guys have been on my channel for any length of time, you see us growing tot soy and pak choy all the time. So that's our favorite. And then this is the easy one for beginners. Just really fast and spicy. Lots of flavor. All right. We'll talk to y'all later. And we'll see you over on Whatnot.